Hello and welcome to our Is an MBA Right for You? Thank you for joining us this evening or this morning, wherever you are in the world. So as you can see, we have some wonderful MBA students with us this evening that are going to really talk to you about their journey in their MBA, and it'll answer some questions for you, I'm guessing. So we're going to begin this evening just with an introduction. So I'm going to be asking each of them to just do a brief introduction of themselves. Let's start with Renuka.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Renuka. I'm a first-year MBA student at AGSM. I have 7 years of experience in a leading ID firm in India, and I'm planning to concentrate in marketing and information systems.
Thank you so much. And Vincent?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I went to UCR for undergrad, and after undergrad, I worked in healthcare management for some time. Currently I'm back at UCR for my MBA, just to pivot into a new career.
Great. Thank you so much, Vincent. And Jazmin?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jazmin. I'm a first-year MBA student concentrating in management. I did my undergrad at UCR as well. And during my undergrad, I interned for the mayor's office and currently interning for Disney.
Thank you so much. And Victoria?
Hi, everyone. My name is Victoria. I am an MBA student, first year. I hope to concentrate in marketing, and I did my undergrad, like most of us, at a UCR. And I hope to go in, actually to work for Disney. I worked in retail for many years, so I hope to use that consumer experience in my future job.
Excellent, thank you. And our last but not least, Edwin.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Edwin. I am currently a second-year MBA student here at AGSM. I currently work as a lending consultant. I have 10 years of experience in finance and lending. And yeah, that's about me.
Thanks. Okay, Abby, over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abigail Wheeler, or Abby. I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions here and with Tamara and our wonderful panelists to moderate our event for tonight. So let's go ahead and get started with a quick video to see a little bit more about the School of Business and a taste of what you might experience. All right, so welcome to the School of Business at UCR, the next generation business school. Before we hop into a question from our panelists, we actually would like to make this an interactive session and get your feedback and input as well. So we do have a first poll question to the audience. We'd like everyone to participate in this by responding. Why are you interested in an MBA? We have some options there for you. Maybe your reasoning fit one of these, maybe it's different and you can select other, and maybe let us know somewhere else in the Q&A. Great. So we have a lot of folks looking to start their career at an advantage. So really getting ahead, or maybe you're already, some of you are already in your career and you're looking to get some promotion to get you to the next stage. Great. Yeah. Those are some common reasons. We do have a few folks who would also say that they'd like to develop their business skills. Excellent. So let's turn it over then to our panelists. And we'll start with Edwin on this one. What initially sparked your interest in pursuing an MBA?
Thank you, Abigail. What initially sparked my interest in pursuing an MBA is after working for a while in the professional environment, I got to thinking, I figured that I haven't really been progressing the way I wanted. So I started looking into graduate programs. I considered an MBA as well as a few other different programs. I basically wanted an opportunity to basically hone my skill set, retool my managerial skills, as well as maybe build my professional network. I realized that my professional network only consisted of people in financial services. So I thought that maybe going and learning a new skill, meeting some new people would be beneficial for my career.
So for me, right after I graduated with my bachelor's in econ, I just felt like I needed more. It's just, I don't know, something was missing. And so, I was trying to go into the job force, didn't really, work out too well. And I wanted to develop more skills in management, marketing. I mean, there's, stats skills. There's so many things that I've gotten out of this already. And it's only my first quarter and it's such a big difference. But that's what it was pretty much essentially what I was looking for. That missing piece kind of fit in. And then that's why I decided to pursue the MBA.
It's similar to Victoria. I graduated this year in March and I had time to apply to jobs, and that job search really sparked my interest in the MBA program, realizing that I could develop my skills with the MBA program, and that really sparked my interest.
Well, for me, what sparked my interest in my MBA? Well, to be honest, when I graduated undergrad, I thought I was ready to, it was good enough to have a bachelor's degree, and I was ready to take on the world. I was going to get a high-paying job, an amazing career right off the bat. But as the real world would have it, that's not the case. I was stuck in a role that I did not enjoy, and I really saw myself being stuck there for the next 30, 40 years. I was like, do I really want to be here? And so after doing some research, I realized that an MBA program was what I needed to go pivot into my next career.
So for me, I was at a point in time in my career where I had two paths. Either I could go into a technical path and be a solution architect, or I could go into more managerial roles. I love to plan, strategize, meet people, work with different teams. So I thought that pursuing an MBA would help me build a network and also will be a great opportunity for my career advancement.
Wonderful. Thank you to each of our panelists for sharing their initial interest and reasoning. For our next question, we'll go to Victoria and then to Edwin. How did you ultimately make that decision that an MBA was your right next step?
So for me, it's kind of the same thing as what I was saying, but the biggest thing, just like Jazmin and Vincent said, was looking in the job force. So many jobs require a ridiculous amount of experience, even for entry level, and my bachelor's wasn't cutting it. And so I realized that I really needed the MBA to kind of get my foot in the door. And so that was really the push. Also, the biggest thing for me was, not only just being a woman, but a woman of color. It's harder to go into business, and you need to have that extra stamp of, like, yeah, I can do this. This is for me. I'm here and I know what I'm doing. And so that was the other side of me wanting to go and get my MBA.
For me, what made me determine that an MBA was my next step, basically, it's something that I thought about for a long time. I discussed it with my family. And at the onset of the 2020 pandemic, I actually reached out to a few different schools. At AGSM, I actually spoke to Patrick Latimer here. I had a lot of questions and concerns at the time, but he was great about addressing all my concerns, and I worked it out with him. And after talking to some of the advisors here, I decided, you know what, maybe this is the correct path for me, and that's what really got me going into pursuing a master's.
Great, awesome. And we do have some pretty phenomenal admissions staff here ready to help you at each step of the process. All right, so next let's talk careers. I'm curious from our audience here, what industry background are you coming from? Or if you don't yet have industry experience, job experience, what industry are you looking to go into? We have some poll options here on the screen for you to share. We got some entertainment, some manufacturing, some consulting. Great, we got no technology. That's a little surprising. Good, we got a good mix though here. Great, thanks everybody for sharing. Our next question, we'll go to Vincent and then to Jazmin. Can you describe your career goals and how do you believe an MBA and maybe even specifically an MBA at UCR is setting you up for success in your career?
Yeah, definitely. So like I said earlier, I'm looking for an MBA just to pivot in my career. And like I said earlier, too, I came here from an undergrad. I'm a UCR undergraduate and had a pleasant experience with the people and the environment. And there's a really strong sense of community at UCR. And I was like, why not go back to UCR to further my business education? And I was also a business major here during my time in undergrad. And I realized that the MBA program is significantly different than the undergraduate business program. There's a lot more support. There's tremendous support, not only in my academic career, but also in my professional career. There's a lot of opportunities to network and attend workshops in how to attend enter certain industries, how to network. And I also love the concentration paths available here at the UCR MBA program. For instance, I'm trying to become a business analyst, and there's a concentration called information systems where I can develop the skills I need to become a business analyst. And it's not just a management focused MBA. And I really appreciate that.
Excellent. Jazmin?
And for me, my career goals would be to hopefully find a career at the internship I'm at right now. So continuing, currently I do HR work, and I've always worked with people, my previous internship and this internship, and UCR has really helped me. Even I just started the MBA program, and one of the classes, organizational behavior class, has already helped me do a workshop for employees at Disney about emotional intelligence. And it's so neat to be talking to my supervisors about like, oh, I learned this in class, and then now we're teaching it to employees at Disney. So it's really cool to see kind of the connection. And also UCR helped me fix my resume before even having this internship. They have a great career development center, and they have great recruitment events that help you boost your LinkedIn numbers as well as networking.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for sharing. We have one more poll to poll the audience. And this one, we're going to ask you to use a different platform. Go ahead and go to pollev.com/Abigail Wheeler 322. Go ahead and get there. I'll give you just a few seconds to get there. And in one word, I'd like you to describe what you're looking for in an MBA experience. Now, you might be looking for a couple different things, right? So you can respond a few different times. We'd love to get as many responses here in as possible. but think about one word that you're looking for from your MBA experience. So we got a lot of folks looking for internships, some looking for careers, networking, looking for different opportunities, looking for a world-class education. Faculty is really important to you. The UC system, looking to gain some new skills, maybe get some scholarship, get some help and support from the staff and faculty. Amazing. We'll give this a few more seconds to maybe transform. A lot of folks here are looking for networking, a lot of folks career skills. Great. Great. So thank you everybody for that fun little exercise. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to my colleague Tamara Johnson to share with us more about the MBA program at UCR.
Great, thanks, Abby. And since I did not introduce myself at the beginning, I am Tamara Johnson, and I am one of the Associate Directors of Admissions and Recruitment at the School of Business, AGSM. And I know some question and answers are starting to come in, so please feel free to start putting your questions in there so that once we're done with this, and this will be very short, we can start asking the students to answer questions. So we're going to go ahead and start here. So as we have said, we are from the University of California, Riverside School of Business. And, you know, we really are a business school that loves to live out our values, which include integrity, inclusion, innovation, and collaboration. These are important values. We are an AACSB accredited institution and business school. You know, there are only 5% of business schools around the entire world that have this accreditation. So think about that. It is a great accreditation. All right, so let's talk about our faculty. You know, faculty are important. And I know a lot of students do look at the faculty and go, what kind of research do they have? Is it someone I'd want to learn from? And our faculty are great. What I love about them is the fact that they have great accolades. But in addition to that, they really, truly do care about our students. We have two that are listed in the Poets and Quants 40 under 40. You know, that's pretty amazing. There could be one, but two, that's great. And our faculty come in number 77 in the UT Dallas for the number of publications for all business schools in the United States. So number 77, there are a lot of business schools. Quickly, we do have our MBA, which is a 2-year program. And then we have 3 master's, specialty master programs, our Master of Finance, Master of Professional Accountancy, and our Master of Science in Business Analytics. These are all 1-year programs. We have over, sorry, I lost my train of thought because something popped up in there that we really should say we're about 420 students, not 600. And all of a sudden I went, wait, where did 600 students come from? But we are all STEM designated, which is great for any of our international students that come and join our programs. And we are represented by 22 different countries. So let's specifically talk about the MBA program, which we're here for. Some of the program components include a required internship, and we're going to talk about the career in just a minute, and a career development course that truly is great, and it's going to set you up for success for your career and your internship. I love the fact that we kind of offer flexibility for you. So you can do a capstone or a thesis. We also have morning, afternoon, evening, and weekend classes. We do have 6 different concentrations that you can choose from and a 7th coming up. So this program is set so that first year you're taking those 9 core courses. It's going to set you up for a very strong business foundation, but also help you determine, do I want to concentrate in that 2nd year or not? This is a 21-month, 2 academic year program. It's 80 units strong. And again, it is a STEM designated program. So what does our class of 2023 profile look like? So all of these students here that are joining us, except for I think Edwin, are all class of 2023. We are 46% women. That's amazing. In the United States, that number is typically around 31, 32%. We have 46% international, and 53% of our domestic students are underrepresented groups. That's an amazing feat for a business school in the United States, and we're very proud of it. We really like to support students of all nationalities and all minority groups as well. Our average GPA is a 3.5 and our average GMAT score is a 692, along with our average work experience of a 31 months. All right, I want to tell you, this is an average, and please remember that. Do we accept students that maybe don't have a 3.5 GPA or don't have 31 months of work experience? We absolutely do. Do we accept people with a 4.0 GPA and 69 months of work experience? Of course we do. Again, this comes down to that diversity. As you can see by our our undergraduate majors that are represented there, we are very diverse. So while, of course, business is the largest group there, we have students from the sciences and humanities, engineering, and economics. This makes for your classroom experience to be great because everyone's coming in with a different experience. Someone that comes in with not very much work experience versus someone that has a lot, someone that's older versus someone that's younger. Everyone's going to bring something different to the classroom setting. Okay, this is pretty wonderful. We think that our average starting salary for our students is $81,500. That is a good starting wage for students coming out of their graduate program. So what is next? What's to look at? Well, I want you to read kind of quickly, and I'm really not going to read this. I'm going to give you a minute to read some of our alumni testimonials. As you can see, we've got Krishna, who is at Google, Alyssa is with Best Buddies, and Eric is with the Disney Company, Walt Disney Company. And each of them talks a little differently about what they gained in our MBA program, from soft skills to their career path just really being set for them. Having the opportunity of having many different elective courses and gaining technology skills. These are all really important. So thank you, Abby. Next. So I did say we'd talk a little bit about our career because that's important, right? We do have a dedicated career development center that works directly with our graduate students and only our graduate students. They're going to provide everything from one-on-one coaching and counseling to workshops and webinars. They might bring in company executives that talk about their own career path or their industry and what they're looking for. That's a great networking opportunity for you. And of course, the most important are those job leads and internship opportunities for you. Our Career Development Center really is there for you every step of the way. And I tell our students, they really should be your best friend because the more they know you, the more they can help you. Some of the places where our students have gotten careers are really varied. And I'm sure you're going to recognize several of these names from Deloitte, Netflix, Hulu, Walt Disney, Nike. There's a wide variety of industries as well. So know that getting an MBA doesn't pigeonhole you into one specific industry. It's going to give you that opportunity to really go in many different directions. So what's next? Of course, the application, right? Our application is super easy. It is an online application. And really, we don't require many things. We do ask for an updated resume or CV. We do ask for you to upload your unofficial transcripts and degree certificate if you've already finished your degree. If you haven't, of course, that will come later. Remember, these are unofficial. Later, we will ask for official. We only require one essay. So basically, a statement of purpose. We want to get to know who you are. Tell us a story. Talk to us maybe about what you've gone through, why you want an MBA, what you want to do with it, maybe why AGSM. We also only require one letter of recommendation. In the application, there's a spot for 3. I would suggest choosing someone that knows you well, that can speak about your strengths, speak about maybe your leadership skills, your team skills. So GMAT and GRE. Do you have to have it? Actually, you don't. We are test optional. 2 things about that, though. If you have a lower GPA, let's just say your GPA is a 3.0, and you take the GMAT and you have a high GMAT, that kind of offsets that lower GPA. So a GMAT or GRE can actually enhance your profile, but in no way does it eliminate you from being admitted. And it also will not eliminate you from receiving some kind of a scholarship. So our priority deadline is coming up. It is December 15th. Round 2 is January 31st. I highly recommend for you to really submit when you feel you have the best application. However, I recommend submitting either in the priority or round 2 deadline, because remember, right now we have a lot of scholarship money, and as every round goes, that scholarship money does go away. So I'm going to offer every single one of you that joined tonight an application fee waiver. And we do have a registration list. So if you join tonight, you will get that application fee waive paid for you. And that's a great opportunity for you to take advantage of. We have a lot of resources for you. We're here for you every step of the way. And like Abby said, our team really is there for you. Edwin's already talked about his interactions with Patrick and how we really do like to meet with you one-on-one, have you ask questions. But more important than that, we have a great group of ambassadors. We have 43 ambassadors that are all very willing to meet with you and just ask and answer questions. So we have some questions that have already rolled in. And the first question is, hey, you're looking for a Master of Finance and you couldn't find that session. We're actually going to be having a specialty master session coming up in our winter quarter. So please feel free to join it then. And you wanted an application fee waiver. Well, guess what? We're going to give it to you. And the nice thing is you can still ask questions, because all these ambassadors, they're students. They know what you're probably wanting to know. So Mahesh, you've got that application fee waiver for joining us. So Fernando asked, how do you get a scholarship? You know what? It's probably easier than what you think. After you've been admitted into our program, we actually look at you immediately for a scholarship. We look at you in a very holistic approach. So we are going to look at scores. We're going to look at your statement of purpose, and we do read those. Don't plagiarize. We also look at your letter of recommendation. We're going to look at your resume as well. Now, if you don't have work experience, there's stuff you can put on there. Maybe you have been part of a club in your undergraduate. Maybe you were a president or a vice president in that club. Okay, so those are opportunities for you to be able to really add that to your resume. So while we're waiting for more questions to come in, we have one more question of every single one of our panelists, or one or two, whoever wants to jump in there, share one piece of advice you would like to give individuals who are making the decision of whether they should pursue an MBA and maybe where they should pursue that. So for our ambassadors, why don't you guys just pop in and give your one piece of advice for that?
Well, I would like to share my experience and reason why I decided and how I decided to go for it. So if you are, I would just say, seek that information, seek that clarity, ask for questions, go to the college's website. They have tons of information available for their program. They have the courses put in. Just go through it, see if it develops an interest in you. And if you are interested, just ask the admissions team, what's the application process, what about the cohort, talk to the alumni. We are there, connect with us. We are there to help you out in every step of the way. So one thing I would definitely advise is never hesitate to ask questions. So that's my piece of advice. Thank you.
So mine would be, my first one would be, don't apply late. I did, and it was very stressful. It is a huge headache to scramble for a letter of rec, to do the essay. It was I guess the worser end of the experience, but everything else after was amazing, obviously, because I'm here. But I would recommend to just try to apply early as early as possible to get peace of mind that you have it submitted. And then the second thing that I would say is to not be discouraged about the price or paying. There are ridiculous amount of scholarships. Like you'd be surprised. And, you know, every school says that, oh, we have scholarships. No, there's scholarships. Like and they will help you out and they will take care of you. And don't be discouraged about any, you know, oh, I don't know. Trust me, just try it. Just try it, because you'd be really surprised, and it's a huge benefit. It's an investment. And so I would definitely just, you know, put yourself out there, put your foot in the door, try, and then you'll be surprised what comes out.
I'll go next. So mine's similar to actually Renuka's. It's you're not alone in your journey. There are a lot of resources, like she said, that UCR has, and you could always reach out to them at any time. And in addition to that, you could always reach out to the people that you trust in your life, your family, friends, professional networks, even your boss or your mentor. You could always talk to people about, hey, is this the right decision for me? And then walk it through with them.
Jazmin or Vincent, do either one of you maybe have a piece of advice you'd like to share?
Yeah, of course. At least for me, like in the application aspect, I wasn't sure about doing the MBA. And I was very lucky to get a phone call from the admissions team. And it was like a 1-hour phone call about like my hesitations and why am I hesitating, kind of talking about the scholarships. And I know like my family was like, yes, do it. But I really wanted to talk to someone, part of the admissions team, to make sure that this was the right option. I'm so glad that I am here now. Especially, I would also recommend to going to office hours once you meet the faculty, because they are great. They have not only advice of your classes and skills, but also career-wise, they can like recommend you to a specific role. So it's just an amazing experience so far.
I think my advice is to really think about what you want the MBA for and what value are you trying to get out of it. Whether it's like, you know, are you trying to pivot careers, promotion in your company, enter a certain industry, or maybe networking. Just having coming into the MBA program with knowing what you want will make it a lot easier during your program and even the application itself. So I think, you know, that's my advice for, yes, that's my advice.
Great, thank you. If any of you that are attendees and joining the webinar want to ask a question, please put it down in the Q&A, which is in the middle of the bottom of the screen. Any questions to the actual ambassadors and students? This is your time to ask them questions, and they have been told to be very honest and answer the question how they would if we weren't in the room with them. So please feel free to type a question in there. Anything from the application process to living in Riverside, to the classes, to networking, whatever it might be, feel free to just ask a question in that Q&A, and we'll direct it to the students for them to be able to answer, so that you get the questions answered that you're looking to have answered for AGSM. So while we're waiting on those questions, let's just skip over. I'm going to ask a quick question to Vincent. You are an ambassador for AGSM. Can you talk to us a little bit about your experience in being an ambassador? And I put him on the spot.
Yeah, definitely. My experience being an ambassador has been amazing. There's just so many more opportunities to go out and network with professionals. And what I really love about ambassadors is that we're a community. And when I first started my classes at UCR, I didn't really know anyone. Even though I came here as an undergrad, I had to rebuild my network. All my friends from previous years have already graduated. And so I'm like, how can I make friends in this class? How can I find people to study with? And everyone in the ambassador group are a group of driven, smart individuals. And just knowing that, you're in the same community makes it easier, to find classmates in class. Like, hey, oh, you're ambassador too. Like, let's study together, let's sit together. And it provides an opportunity for me to have a community during my time here in my MBA program.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. So please also know that you can do anonymous questions. You don't have to put your name. So we do have a question. What are some challenges or tips we should know if we decide not to pursue an MBA right after graduation, such as taking a gap year or two? You know, let's see who, Edwin, how about you answering that question for us, would you?
Sure, I could actually answer that question. I do know a lot of people in our cohort actually did exactly that. They did take a year or two off and then pick up some work experience, internship experience, and then apply for the MBA. It's not that much more challenging. In my case, I actually worked for 10 years and then I came back to school. The one thing I would probably recommend to most people is if you're going to take that GMAT or GRE, I recommend you take that out of college, because 10 years later, I had to study a lot harder for it to pull off a good score. In addition to that, I mean, it's not a terrible idea if you can get into a company and have them do like tuition reimbursement. It also helps very well. That is one of the things I'm taking advantage of. My job actually is funding some of my education.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So the next question is, how much harder is it compared to undergraduate? I feel that many people think it's so much harder than a bachelor, which drives them away from applying. Victoria is smiling, so I think, Victoria, you need to take this one.
So I mean, like I said, it is my first year. It's only my first quarter. And it's difficult, but it's not that hard. I thought it was going to be extremely hard. I was really nervous, and that was one of the reasons why I was unsure about joining. But I mean, it's challenging, but it's a good challenging because you know that you're developing skills that you can use later on, right? I mean, it's not like an undergrad where you're taking, you have to take your required courses just to get to the actual courses that matter. No, all of these courses matter. So that challenge, that difficulty that's in them, it's rewarding because you develop these skills. You're like, oh, you know what? I learned this in my marketing class. I could use that over here. I learned this over here. Everything matters. So it is difficult, but anything worth doing is going to be difficult, right? And so I think that, it is hard, but it's not that hard, right? It's doable. It's definitely doable, and it's fun.
Great answer, Victoria. I love that. Anything that's worth doing, I mean, if it's hard, it's worth it. The rewards are going to pay off so much in your future. So we have someone that said, I hear that companies would fund an MBA for their employees. How true is this? I'll just go ahead and answer that because it is true. So there are some employers out there that will help fund. It's rare that you find an employer that pays all of it. If you do, jump on it. But there are definitely employers out there that will help do some tuition reimbursement, whether it's $5,000 a year or even $1,000 a year. That always does help. So there definitely are some companies out there that do that. So great question. Would you recommend being a TA? Now, I don't believe anyone here is a TA. Edwin, you're not a TA, are you? Yeah, I don't believe anyone's a TA, but do you guys all know someone that's a TA? Great. So Vincent, can you just share what you think are the advantages to being a TA, and is it something someone should pursue?
I think being a TA is a great opportunity for yourself to work on presentation skills, especially as a business oriented individual here in the MBA program. A lot of people don't know actually about this, but they provide a pretty good stipend where it's like, I think, don't quote me on it, I'm not exactly sure, but it's around maybe 30,000 a year. So, if you're looking to be a full-time student, but you want to be able to make a little something on the side, being a TA is a great opportunity for you, and just go for it.
Excellent. And it's actually more than $30,000. It is over $36,000 in receiving a salary and a few of your fees that are reduced. Victoria, did you raise your hand? You want to answer something here?
I did, because I want to just add a little bit of input.
Excellent.
Because I am actually going to be a TA next year, and I'm really excited because I want to use those skills just like right when I graduate with my MBA to try to work at a community college with my master's. So I feel like, if you're thinking about doing that, then being a TA would be really beneficial because you kind of you see how the professor works, so then you can apply that to yourself later on, and it'll give you a little more skill. So that's how I'm using it, like right after, and then I, go into my marketing job force later.
Yeah, great. It's a great thing to add to your resume as well. So what are some of the skills or knowledge that you've learned during your MBA? So obviously during this first quarter that you didn't in your undergraduate. Jazmin, can you answer this one?
Yeah, of course. So I think in my undergraduate, I kind of put a lot of pressure, like, oh, my last 2 years, I'm going to focus on career development and networking. But that's when COVID hit. So it was like remotely, and it's very hard to network remotely. So I think the MBA program kind of gave me a second chance to get that career development, networking. I know before the MBA program, my LinkedIn was kind of non-existent, and now it's thriving, hopefully. But I think that the classes here are really applying to like my internship and my career goals. So the classes are actually like in class, I'm learning about Agile. I'm like, oh wait, I learned that during my internship. So it's really nice to see the connections, and as well get that extra help of like career coaching. Even though I do have an internship and I'm in the MBA program, sometimes I'm like, am I okay being here? Like, is this the right internship? And then I talk to the career advisors, and it's really nice just to talk about any hesitations, or it's just really nice to have that.
Excellent. All right, the next question is, what does the course schedule look like? So could you still work full time, say 9 to 5, for instance, and still do the MBA? Renuka, can you answer that?
Yes, great question. So yes, so we do provide professional MBA for students who are working full-time. They have flexible schedules. There are classes that are after 7 p.m. so you can manage your schedule along with your work. So I would really recommend you to go and check out the school's website to get more information on the professional MBA, or reach out to Tamara or any of us or anyone in the admissions team, and we can help you with that.
Excellent. Jazmin?
I just wanted to add, like, I work from 9 to 5 and my classes are at 7 p.m. And it's really nice to have that flexibility to work during the day and have your classes at night. So I think it's doable. It's really doable. Just wanted to add that.
Great. Thank you. And Edwin?
I just wanted to chime in and say they are absolutely correct. I do work 9 to 5, 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. UCR also offers Saturday courses in the business program. So you can always take Saturday courses as well if you can't make it during the weekday.
Yeah, that's great. So we also had just a kind of a afterthought to your comment, Victoria, is that's Fernando's goal, is to be a TA. So he'd love to become one. And how do you apply?
Oh, that's great. So it actually, the application, it came with, or not the application, the offer came with my scholarship. And so I got my scholarship for the first year, and then the second year I got a little more. And because it's tied in with the TA program, I know that I don't have the exact date with me, but I know that even though I do have I do have it locked in, I still have to apply, and there's a way that you would do that in your second year.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is you could potentially be given an automatic TA-ship with your offer letter, and then as Victoria said, you still have to actually put in that application. And then there also are applications that are accepted in the first year of your MBA for your second year. You can only be a TA in your second year. Renuka, you raised your hand. Did you want to add to that?
Yes, to that I would want to add, so even if you do not get a TA-ship along with your offer, you can reach out to your advisor or your faculty for a course that you're interested in doing a TA-ship. Maybe you are interested in doing in information systems, you have a background of that, and you think you would really help, or you would really grow and learn something from it. So you can definitely do that even if you don't get a TA-ship along with your offer.
Yeah, excellent. And additionally, we have what we call reader positions that individuals can do in your first year or for the specialty masters. It's working for a professor, grading papers, grading tests, and you do get paid an hourly wage for that. So there are those opportunities as well, which is really good. Can you get a teaching credential along with your MBA? Unfortunately, not at the same time, you cannot. The teaching credential would come through a different school on our campus underneath the University of California, Riverside, but that would be in the Graduate School of Education, and you cannot be doing 2 different degrees at one time at UCR. But great question. So far, that's the only questions that we have left in the chat. Nope, got another one, great. For someone who's interested in corporate law, but may or may not practice as an attorney, would you still recommend pursuing an MBA? Who wants to take that? I know what my answer is, but I want one of you guys to answer that. Okay, Victoria.
I think I would say yes, because you develop so many interpersonal skills, how to communicate with people, a lot of soft skills, which are going to be extremely important if you do decide to become an attorney, and how to work the room, how to work people. That's a big benefit. And then, I mean, besides that, you have all of the harder skills, like the, business management, communication, like at a managerial level. And then you have, you go into your statistics, you go into the math, like, marketing, there's so many different ways, or HR even, right? And there's so many different skills and different ways that you can benefit from an MBA, even if you're trying to go into corporate law or I think you said, or not practice as an attorney, it still would be beneficial because you develop so many skills that you can use as you're working the courtroom or even outside of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Renuka?
Yes, so like Victoria said, when you pursue an MBA, you get to know how people and corporations and companies work. So you get to learn and enhance those skills. And whether you or not you want to practice your corporate law, it still is a great skill to have.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Did anyone else want to answer, give a shout out for that one? Okay. No more questions in the question box, the Q&A box. So please feel free to type in a question really quickly if you have one before we finish for the evening. These have been great questions, excellent questions. And the ambassadors are not only here for this session, but you can always reach out to them. You can reach out to myself or Abby. Abby will put our contact information up for our entire admissions team, that you can reach out to us with our email. And that's a great place to either reach out to, like I said, Abby or myself. And we can always connect you with one of our ambassadors, one of these 5 amazing ambassadors who can give you answers to questions that you might have. I know I threw this at Abby to put our contact up there because I know she has a slide. She just has to find it. But we do thank you so much for joining us. And while Abby's putting that our contact information up there, please know if you joined this evening, again, we thank you, and you will get an application fee waiver. Please make sure and try and submit during that priority or second round, because this is when we have the most scholarship money available. And if you have any questions about the application whatsoever, we are here to answer those. We're here to give you the advice for you to be able to submit the application that really puts you your best foot forward. Abby, do you have that slide available?
Yeah, sorry, it's my computer's being a little bit slow, so I'm just trying to share.
I can share it.
I have it right here. We're ready.
Okay.
There we are.
Great. So please feel free to take a picture of this and You now have both Abby's and my contact information, our emails, and we will be here for you throughout the process. And again, the rest of our team. It's an amazing team that's really willing to help you throughout your whole application, but also after you're admitted. We still love our students, and we really are there for the life cycle of students. So once again, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time. Thank you to our amazing ambassadors for joining us as well. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening.